This episode of the Grand Rising Show was brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. Autochthonous Assembly is a gathering of the minds that do the work. Now, for many of our first-time subscribers and first-time visitors, you may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly are. You can find this information about our mission statement and our core values on the website at autochthonousassembly.com/about. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous American voices by using genealogy, also known as family history, or your family tree, which is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages and history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Our core values are the foundation of our company, which is essential to our success and serve as a lens through which we evaluate every business decision. Those core values are, but are not limited to, integrity, which is knowing and doing what is right; respect, which is treating others the way you want to be treated; responsibility, which is embracing opportunities to contribute; and servant leadership, which is serving the common good. Now, at Autochthonous Assembly, we have a couple of goals here. And our first goal and foremost of the reason why we do everything that we do is to ensure that we help you do your genealogy and connect back to your tribe and find out where you are from. Everything that we do from the standpoint of the Grand Rising Show and all the information that's posted on the website is dedicated to that one specific purpose: helping you find your genealogy, find your relatives, find your family so that you will know exactly who you are. And if you choose to, tie back into your tribe, whether that tribe is a Native American tribe, an American Indian tribe, whether it's allowing you to determine which house in Africa that you belong to, or what clan of Scandinavia or Europe or France that you belong to. Either way, our goal is to do just that: help you find out who you are so you know exactly where to start. We are not here to tell you who you are, and we're not here to tell you who you are not. We're just here to help you discover your beginnings. Another one of our missions is to help you become financially independent so that you can help your generations for the next 7 generations and be able to put a stable foundation for you and your relatives. And if you should choose to use this information that we provide free of charge to help not only yourself, but your community and your tribe, then we will do everything in our power to make sure that gets done as well. And remember, our goal here is to make sure that we help you get exposed to this information to put you in the best situation possible. So now what I'm going to do now is return it back over to the panel to see if there was anything I missed, and I will go ahead and get set up so we can get ready and get digging into this information. Panel, take it away.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising, everyone's doing well.
Make me sick.
How's everyone doing this rising? What was you about to say, Gabby? Gabrielle? What was you about to say?
I said, riddle me this, Batman.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Fine, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing excellent. We excellent day.
Bounce.
Like we ain't been talking for the last past 30 minutes.
You know what, TMH?
I will once you tell me.
Oh, you have learned. All right, you have learned.
But what you mean I have learned? I've been learned. What you talking about? Anyway, Bones, the radio station still broke it. I still broke it. So
Ooh, you broke it.
hush, Gabrielle.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So grand rising to everyone out there and internet land. Grand rising to the new subscribers. Grand rising to the people who have recently registered on the website and added themselves to the forum and contributed. So we thank you for that. I want to say peace and grand rising to the Autochthonous Assembly silent majority. All those that are out there that are doing stuff in their community and helping and just basically learning and passing this information on to everybody. We definitely appreciate that. Look forward to more contributions and to the best chat on earth ever. Period. Point blank in the discussion. Whether it's
On Earth?
on earth with an F and a
Earth.
PH. EARF or EARPH.
Earth.
On earth. No. Either or, not both.
Uh,
Mm.
so Earth.
You have an option of spelling earth.
Okay.
See how it works?
So like Earth.
No. Grand rising in peace to the best chat on earth, whether it's through the website or whether it's on YouTube. Greetings, one and all. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And now that we didn't get that out of the way and Gabby has interrupted. What happened? What am I?
Be nice. Use your words.
I'd rather use yours.
I know.
So.
Can't have nothing.
Mm-mm. Can't have anything. Not one thing. Not none.
Not nad, not a.
Not none.
Not a nad, not a word.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to the people in the chat. So I want to say grand rising to Celestial Love, Copper Color Ancestor, Dat Boy Wig, David Corey, Michael Harris Brown, Cheek, Phoenix Rose, aka Phoenix, TMA's Global. That's me. T Tiny Ofo O Fofo. So what it do, y'all? How everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well.
Pamela Hall.
Who else we got? Who else I mentioned?
Carrie Bay. David Corey. Ohio Player. Copper Indio. Doodoo Vision. You missed some people. Joe
Michael Harris
47.
Brown, Browns Creek says, can anyone see my message on the white chat room? I can see my message. I can't see my message there. Let's see. I see that you joined the channel, Michael. I don't see a message. Let's see if I can put a text to the chat.
He joined. Yeah, all I see is that he joined the channel. Or the message board. Golden Moon, aka KD.
You still shouting out people that ain't signed in yet?
They're signed in.
Today?
In spirit.
Can you show me how that can be done? Could you give me a demonstration how somebody can sign in their spirit?
Yeah. Close your eyes. You feel that energy? That's them connecting.
That feels like hunger. I ain't yet. I'm just saying. That's what that feels like. Oh, I always thought it was trying
You
to
know what?
eat. What?
You're whack.
You said
You're whack.
I'm
You're whack.
whack. Y'all see how she treat
You're
me?
whack.
Y'all see how she
You put
treat
the
me?
acting whack. You're
That's how she
whack.
treat me. That's fine. I'll be whack. Fine then.
Yeah, I see you signed in. Like you joined the channel, but I don't see a message.
Phone's probably doing making some adjustments.
Wait, can you see? You can see mine, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You put a test in with a lowercase t. I put a test in with a capital T. Yeah, that's on it.
So what? Your test is better than mine?
No, my test is capitalized and yours isn't. Michael Harris Brown Cheek says, looks like it only lets me message there when I choose one of the emojis. Are you on your phone, Michael? I have to log out and come back in. You know, that's normally how it works.
Wait a minute. How you gonna give a shout out to yourself, TMH Global? You didn't say Bones either.
Shout out to Bones. Shout out to No Sellout.
Double cousin.
So you feel better now? I did it. To help. No. I'm asking. Just need clarification. Either it does or it
Hold
doesn't.
on. So wait, you gave shout outs from both? Because
Yes.
David Corey is logged in.
I said shout out to David Corey.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Interesting.
Very. Sounds like someone has selective hearing. Michael Harris Brown Cheek says, yep, at the app won't work on my phone. I'm on the website. So you must have an iPhone. Like me. Like I have an iPhone. That's okay. Apple gonna hook us up. Apple gonna make it right. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit this clock so we can get to work. And here we go.
Okay, I see Michael Harris Brown Cheeks emoji.
Grand Rising, Mr. TJ. Yeah, Gabby, you was talking all over the sound bite, but it's okay.
Oh, you hit the clock?
I hit the clock.
Okay, hit the clock again. I'll be quiet.
Too late. You only get to hit the clock once.
Just clock out and clock back in.
No, I'm not clocking out and clock back in. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Where's No Sellout when I need him?
I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. You say that, but it may not help you.
No, you're absolutely right. It may not help.
It may not help you.
Michael Harris Brown Cheek says, no, I got it Boo Boo LG. I read that. Alright. So Friday's bill was good. There was a lot that was discovered. We learned that a lot of libraries was burned down,
Crazy.
and that's how they control the history. And normally those libraries are burned down during a war, some type of conflict, which is normally, I dare say, instigated by one of the four major powers. So we're starting to realize, well, I'm starting to realize, because I can only speak for myself, that there's a major concerted effort to hide who we are as a people. And again, it's all about business. It's all about controlling resources. It's all about allocating funds. It's all about staying in power. So I get it. What else did we learn last Friday? I didn't write any notes down. I should have, but I didn't. But that's okay. We learned that Gabby don't stay on one page long. She got clickitis.
What's that supposed to mean?
When you share your
There's a lot of
screen.
information out there.
Yeah, yes. Oh, we learned that the timelines are all jacked up. And everything is pretty much based off of the foundation of 1492 and smallpox wiping out everybody and bringing in the Africans. You disprove those two things, which has been done numerous times by numerous people. Then the whole "we are all Africans" pretty much has to disappear, decimate, or be gone. What else did we learn? That's all I got for now. What say you, Gabby? You remember anything you learned from Friday? Or anything you learned from doing anything this weekend?
Um, yeah, I agree. Yeah, the timelines are off. Um, but also in those timelines, the timelines that were given, if we pay attention to what they're referring to, we can, well, I don't know, it's like double stories, reading one thing and getting two stories coming out of the same explanation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which makes it even as important to do your genealogy. Like you may not be able to speak for someone else, but you can speak for yourself if you do your genealogy. And obviously, learning more and more if you do your genealogy properly. Um, so yeah, not necessarily. I mean, it's one thing to know history, but do you even know your own history? You know, the people, you know, um, where they're from and how that led up to you. You know, the
Right.
existence of you.
Right.
And then just really honestly, I also took an understanding or a knowing that with doing genealogy and reading on the timelines, just paying attention to your surroundings, where you are, you know. But I
Okay.
agree with you. I learned what you learned.
Oh no. Okay. Now you pulling no sellout. Right. Can you remind me what I wrote? Can you remind me what we talked about? Another thing I learned over the weekend is that the census not only allows us to understand where our where resources are being allocated, but it also allows us to know how many representatives we're supposed to have in Congress.
Man, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, you could. I mean, that's what I had. So,
So, I watched it several times. Duda Vision dropped a video, and I rewatched it several times. Um, because I realized, yes, you are correct. The census plays a huge part in how resources funds are allocated, but also take an understanding if things are happening in your area where businesses are being built up, the whole gentrification process, homes, neighborhoods, or whatnot. If you're not counted for or accounted for, if you're not participating, if you're not getting actively involved, then I don't know if I'm about to say this correctly. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. If you're not getting involved and you're not being accounted for, then that's kind of part of the problem, if that makes sense.
yeah, you're truly an example of a walking dead.
Yeah,
That's what it boils down to. You're here, but you're not here. You're not alive. You're literally black. You're dead.
right.
Michael Harris
Really,
Brown.
you know a Walking Dead reference, but you don't know a White Walker reference. Really?
I'm going to read what Michael Harris Brown Cheeks has suggested and believe, but I believe most of these people that are scamming are part of tribes that are in power, the evil ones, if not all scammers are. Michael Brown Harris, hold on, Michael Harris Brown Cheek. I would agree with you from the standpoint of this is being allowed to permeate through our organization. And I do know, and I do believe, and I do accept that the government is aware of this, and this is only helping their cause. Um, so at the end of the day, the more of us that subscribe to this, what do you call it? The more of us that subscribe to this separation, this declaration, and being nationals, trying to be foreign, not foreign nationals, but I forgot the term that they use, trying to be nationals, the more of us they can de-citizenize and move somewhere else because now you are an immigrant. And people don't understand that once you are no longer a citizen, you're an immigrant. And because of the Reorganization Act of 1934 and the Act of 1924, all Indians, all Native Americans, and all Indians were declared Native Americans. And because of that, all of them were made citizens. And if you went into the military, you was made a citizen. And if you were declared Negro or you were written black or Negro was written on your census paperwork, you were declared a citizen. So by that in itself, by trying to deregulate or declassify, you are automatically making yourself an immigrant, an illegal immigrant.
I got a thought,
Mm.
and this is just my thought. What's wrong with being a U.S. citizen? So it's like a thought and a question. And here's why I say this. I did some thinking, did some reading, did some thinking, did some thinking, but I was thinking, and the question I asked myself, with everything going on, with the whole sovereign citizen movement, and just with everything transpiring, politically, just things in my personal life, everything. What's wrong with being a US citizen? What's so bad about it? Like what's so wrong with however someone wants to categorize it, like, oh, you're subject to blah 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 blah. Really think about it. This is where you were born. If you were born here, this is where you were born. This is where you're from. This is where your mom and dad and grandparents, regardless of what has transpired, this is where you're from. And in all actuality, the the way we are able to voice our opinions and thoughts. And an opinion is not based off of fact or knowledge. So even if we're spewing um, um, inappropriate ideology, we're able to do that. Where in other countries, you might not be able to speak your mind. You know what I mean? You might not be able to wear what you want to wear, dress how you want to dress, do what you want to do. Become entrepreneurs or just whatever you choose to do. Like, what's so wrong with that? What's so bad about that? You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you have to realize there are individuals coming from the standpoint of their natural rights or common law rights, and they're proclaiming that you have your rights stolen from you and you have the right to run your life without the interference of the government. But people fail to realize that as Indians, we governed ourselves. We had a government. We have a government.
right,
So if you're not going to operate within either of those confines, not knowing what those confines are, then you're choosing by default to be an immigrant. So when they say citizen, they're looking at it from the standpoint of the oppression, all the bad things that have happened to our people. And I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, um, minimizing that.
right,
What I will say is, majority of the bad things that have happened to us didn't happen because the white man did it. The majority of those things happened because our ancestors let these people in the door. First, they let the quote unquote black Europeans in. Then the black Europeans let their white counterparts in. Then the white counterparts screwed everybody of color. And that's basically how it happened. And they're still doing so to this day. And we still have people that look like us who are pretending to be us, who want to be on that higher rung and replace us, which is what has always been the case from when they came over here as quote unquote royals or as prisoners or as subjects of the new crown. At the end of the day, their goal was to replace us, take our resources. And that's what these people are trying to do today. And the government is, be careful how I say this, subtly acquiescing and allowing it because these people are under surveillance and they are allowing them to stay and ruminate in our community. And we have to do far more work than anybody else to get these type of people out of our community. Now, when they was infiltrating their own communities, oh, they got rid of them quick, fast, in a hurry. But because it's our community, it's a slow process, which basically means that we have to do our due diligence, which is the reason why I have no problem turning you into the FBI if I suspect or if I can prove that you're doing something you ain't got no business. So,
there's it's a movie, you probably haven't seen it, but it's called A Wrinkle in Time. And there's one part in the movie that, well, there's many parts in that whole movie that is just, to me, they're profound. But there's this one part where what's her name? The character, I think Mrs. What's It. She says to the little girl, she says, "Do you know how many events had to take place in order for you to be here?" And it's one of those things where it sat with me, like, regardless of what has happened, like, I'm not diminishing, someone's struggle or someone's fight in history, because we have ancestors, we have family members that they stood for something, you know what I mean? And their lives were sacrificed, their lives were taken because of that. And I'm not diminishing that, but when you really, really take in consideration, like, all the men and women in your family, all the men and women in the past, all those events, all those people that connected to have children, to lead up to more children, to lead up to you to where you're at a point you can make a difference. You know what I mean? You have a knowing that a lot of other people don't, or you're coming into a knowing that you didn't know before. like all the events that took place to lead up until now. You know what I mean? For you to be able to do something, for you to be able to change and contribute, if that makes sense. And then, too, I also thought about there was a couple of years ago where they were saying that the post office was going to like shut down because they weren't receiving, you know, people weren't going to the post office like they used to, if that makes sense. One of the things that's connected to all these to this sovereign citizen movement is how it affects businesses, especially government businesses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense. And at the end of the day, we have to do a better job of policing ourselves.
Right.
And personally, I don't care if don't nobody do the policing. I'm gonna do the policing. Um, like I said, majority of the people that are on these channels that are proclaiming, and I'm using air quotes, conscious or being aware or aboriginal or what I would determine a separatist Moor, not to be confused with individuals of the Moorish Science Temple who basically denounce that type of activity. These individuals are on that separation being national thing. And I've yet, out of all the videos, to see any proof that there is any nationals that have a nation that are winning their arguments in federal court. Because here's the thing I find interesting. You want to petition the UN or you want to deal with the UN, which is federal, but then you make claims that the sheriff has more jurisdiction than the federal government. You're making double standard statements. Either you're dealing on a federal level or you're dealing on a state level. Now, if you're dealing on a federal level, now you're encompassing all the states when it comes to the arena of commerce, because that's the only time the Constitution comes into play when it comes to how the states interact with each other. So if that's what you're attacking and addressing, then you have no business addressing anything with your local courts, your civil courts, because you're talking about a federal situation, which is the reason why majority of the courts that are aware of you guys and gals, they don't, they either, if they look at the cost of doing business or dealing with you, and they will either dismiss it or ignore it or just turn it over to the feds so there can be at least a 5-year case built up against you. And for those of you who are following this nonsense, I suggest, because this is the beautiful thing about Google and public records, you can actually pull up people who claim to do such and such and so and see if they have a criminal record and see what they got arrested for. And then you'll see that they've been arrested for these offenses in the past and they're just trying to perfect them. And because now that they are felons, it's very difficult for them to get a job. And so they have to continue their scam. And they need more victims. And you're just an individual who's supplying them more victims. Sad, but it's true. And at the end of the day, you know, when the government comes down on you, Big Brother, the corporation known as United States of America, whatever you want to label them as, they're not going to have any mercy on you. It may take a while because of, you know, you're infiltrating a group of people that they choose to have eradicated and removed because of their own selfish corporate gain. But at the end of the day, you will be prosecuted, you will be brought to justice, and you will have your own community in a 6x9 cell. So it's just a matter of time. And because I'm not going anywhere, I'm patient. Grand Rising, No sellout. Hope all is well.
Each y'all.
And so,
Double cousin.
Copper Color Ancestor asked a question. She says, "How does that play into the rural area versus the inner city community?" And I think she's speaking in reference to the census. Well, again, the census is based off of your area. So, regardless of where you're at, you still, I suggest, you grown, do what you want to do. I suggest you participate in your census. And anyone that tells you that if you participate in the census, then they'll know who you are, or they'll know how many people you got in your house. Just by virtue of the fact that you have cable or cell phone, they already know how many people are in your house, and they already know who you are. Because they got satellites all over the place. They already know who you are, and they already know how many people you got in your house. So for someone saying that the census is used for enumeration purposes only, it's ludicrous. If you've ever used Google and you've ever used a search engine and you've pinged a tower, they already know how many people in your house. They already know who you are. So
Don't use Google.
The internet belongs to the government. The backbone of the internet belongs to the government. I don't care what search engine you use. It doesn't matter. It's still on the backbone. It's still on the backbone of the government's internet service. That has never changed. So, Copper Color Ancestor, what it boils down to is getting involved in your community, whether it's rural or inner city, is still important because you matter. If you didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to keep count based off of resources and representation. And then Michael Harris Brown Cheek says some of them are these are some people listen to these fake chiefs, and he said a couple of days ago he was listening to a whole 2 hours of a fake chief. He said baby oil sounded like an African, always saying my brother. Yeah, it's interesting because people that use that term, my brother and my sister, they sound like Pan Africans, don't they? You
My
know,
brother.
I got a question.
what's up?
All right, so for the people who say you are not to be enumerated because that makes you not an Indian, because Indians are not to be enumerated because Indians not taxed and this and that and boom bap rap. Hook me up.
Cut that short and just tell them straight up, go back and read. Because the problem with that is, and this goes to everybody doing research, no jokes whatsoever. Y'all got to stop spot reading. You got to stop digging through history and picking out parts to read that benefits your narrative. That's what makes this dangerous. It's outdated. Same people will tell you that, won't tell you about 1924, 1934. The stuff that they're reading is irrelevant. The 1924 Act again made all American Indians, at that point Native Americans, and making you all U.S. citizens. It's called the Indian Citizenship Act or
Hold
the
up.
Snyder Act.
I heard you
There's
say
no
that
way
like a
around it.
million times now. So you mean to tell me that these people that don't want to be counted and enumerated is just living before 1924? They're reading.
No, they don't know what they're talking about. You even got the same ones that's telling you, oh, the chief's not telling you, the chiefs are telling you to pay taxes. Yes, you idiots, because Indians pay taxes. How do you think resources are done? Running water, electricity. People are morons out here.
You know,
Everybody can be able to speak. Real talk.
I actually talked to, because doing my genealogy, connecting to, ancestors, tribes, or whatnot, I've actually talked to not only a couple of chiefs, but, okay, so with them saying no, don't get counted, Indians don't pay taxes, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not trying to be dismissive, but one of the things, one chief told me that a couple of chiefs told me what they do is for this 2020 census coming up, they're going through their records. And so anybody who hasn't paid their taxes, anybody who basically jumped on the bandwagon for whatever reason, if they're not actively involved, if they're not being able to, if the chiefs can't get in contact with them to find out where they're at, like they're putting together, okay, who's a part of the tribe, who's able to be accounted for the census. And this was told to me by 3 different chiefs, like actual chiefs, not spring up chiefs. They're getting their records together for a reason.
Yes, and inevitable, because when you have people that's scamming, people who's using ancestors that's not theirs, then what the tribes have to do? Now they have to go through their records and start verifying everything to protect themselves. Can you blame them? You gonna let somebody take food out of your mouth, out of your children's mouth, out of the people that you're responsible for?
Right.
What's that?
And you got to realize too that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bones.
No, I'm just gonna say again, people must stop spot reading. When you're reading to fix your own narrative, that is the problem.
At the end of the day,
To the point straight up, took a shot at Chief Warhorse. I caught it. I caught that slick shot. That lets you know they're frauds.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes, some chiefs aren't telling you the truth. Why don't you be a man or a woman and call out the chief, Kalanago? Be a man that you claim that you are. And call out the chief that's not telling you the truth about these Indians not taxed. Kalanago.
So the chief that gets invitations to the White House, the one that's known for talking by multiple tribes of American Indians, that's the one now supposed to be the face. And the one nobody know about, hide behind the screen, supposed to be the real one.
But see, that's how it works, Bones. That's how it's working. What they're doing is they're setting this up to be, they're lumping all of the Indian chiefs in with the 5 recognized tribes. That's what they're doing. They're lumping anybody that's a chief of a tribe, right? If you're not rolling with them, then they're lumping you in with either all federally recognized or all state recognized chiefs. That's how they're doing this, and people are falling for it because, as a whole, people are lazy. They don't do any research. No one is going to a tribe where they live, because there are lots of tribes where people live. No one's doing that. They would rather listen to somebody who only go visit white chiefs or light chiefs, and they can scare them because they didn't grease themselves out looking like they belong in the WWE SmackDown competition. And you won't carry your tail, you won't bring your tail down south and go talk to no real chief that looks your complexion and talk their rhetoric. I bet you won't do that. Not no male chief, you won't.
I'll make it easier for them. Debunk the Snyder Act. Debunk the Indian Citizenship Act. It's a real act. It's in Congress. Debunk it. If not, stop teaching that bobo.
And didn't the Act of 1866 nullify every treaty before it? Because people are still talking about...
They're so smart, they don't read that once the Indians picked up arms against the United States, every treaty prior was nullified. That's why they had to re-sign the treaties in 1866. But they scholars, though, not.
And here's the funny thing about it, and this is just me, and maybe I'm wrong, but you're using documents that Congress signed as verification of Congress being frauds, but you're not talking to anybody from Congress. You're not talking to your state representative. But you're using documents that Congress signed to validate that Congress is a fraud, but you're not talking to anybody that's a state representative from Congress. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Just something to think about.
And once they get done with the 1924 Snyder Act, go and deal with the 1934 Wheeler Act, the Indian Reorganization Act.
Yeah.
They don't even know half the treaties that these people running around talking about are voided. All you have to do is go back to the Civil War and realize what happened. Every tribe that picked up arms against the United States treaties were null and void. Therefore, all Southern tribes re-signed 1866 treaties.
Hold on. So that means every tribe that's not part of the 5 civilized tribes would have had their treaties nullified, right?
That's why you had the Seminole Treaty of 1866. You had Choctaw, Chickasaw. That's why all of them have 1866 treaties. They redid the treaties in 1866 because they voided them because of the Civil War.
Okay. Just checking, just trying to.
But they scholars though. Y'all don't mind me.
I mean, the truth is truth. Truth is truth. Again, the number works. No one wants to call in, but you wanna come on and put your show on and take these vague shots. Again, y'all know my address. Ain't none of y'all call me, and ain't none of y'all come to see me. So obviously you scared. Kalanaga, you was in DC, so I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, bruh. You are a fraud. I got your book. It reeks of fake citizenship. It reeks of colonization. It reeks of sovereignty. It reeks of declaring war on the United States government. So I got the receipt from the book from when I paid you for it. So anytime you want to come to DC, you and your boy from the creek, y'all want to come see me? Y'all know where I'm at. You ain't got to run. You can bring your whole crew.
Are you talking about Chief Colonizo?
He ain't no chief.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chef Colonizo.
He ain't no chief.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thought he was chief.
That's like me proclaiming to be a doctor because that's a title I use. I don't disrespect titles like that. I don't care.
I got a question.
Dre is a doctor. There's 2 Dre's that's a doctor.
Go ahead, Gabrielle.
He talking about the Dre's in the lab.
I think they were lab coats.
I
seen one do it on MTV. My bad, Gabby. Go ahead.
Ask your question, Gabby.
See, double cousin just made me think about. So, would you think I've been in the lab with a pen and a pad? Okay.
Trying to get his damn label off. You're dumb, yo. I hate your guts. You make me do things.
You make me want to leave the one I'm with.
That's another Usher song. Got him TMH. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, my bad. It's Double's cousin's fault. I couldn't help it. Okay, my question is, with all these chiefs saying they're chiefs, what tribe are they from? What tribe are they claiming? What tribe are they from, or what tribe are they claiming they're from?
They're claiming generic tribes using generic names that don't go to specific clans.
Some of them use it like a rap name. I'm just going to be honest. That's how I feel.
They go, I'm Arawak, I'm Choctaw, I'm Seminole, I'm Cherokee. But what clan, what band, what county? And the reason why they don't do that, because here's the truth. It doesn't matter how you manually manipulated your genealogy.
GED. You was about to say GED.
I know, right? I know, right? I got a diploma in the community. It doesn't matter how you manually manipulate your genealogy. Genealogists
you
from
go ahead and say
tribes,
GED.
genealogists in tribes can tell who your family are based on your last name. That's how thorough they are. That's the reason why y'all punk behinds won't go to no real tribes where people that look like you, because you might get monkey stomped on some soil where you ain't got no control. That's why you scared to go talk to some real tribes that look like you, because they'll
On
call
site.
you out. They'll call you out, and then they'll beat you down on their own land, and you ain't got no recourse.
Wait, so you're saying your last name is actually significant and can actually be tied to other people to prove your genealogy?
I've talked to numerous tribes, both heavily melanated and non-heavily melanated, and their genealogists can listen to your last name and tell you within the county of the state where you're from. They know because they do their research. So that's the reason why
I was told mine. I was told mine off of my family's last name in the beginning. It led me to finding the rest of them. So yeah, they know.
That's the reason why they won't talk to the southeastern Indian tribes, because they scared. See, they can talk to some messed up people that don't know and that don't know genealogy, but they're not gonna talk to no real chiefs that have real tribes that have real power. Because now you on their territory, you gonna get monkey stuff from coming in there with that fake crap. And then the government ain't gonna help your fake sovereign silly behind.
Wait, was monkey stomp a pun
African?
Pan-African?
Yes.
I was about to say, is it African monkey or is it a South American monkey? Because I'm not exactly sure which monkey should be stomping.
It's a South
My
monkey.
bad.
SOUF. It could be South African or South American. Either way, it's South. So just know this. And again, I don't care how people feel about stuff. I really don't. I really don't. If only people that's gonna roll and do what they're supposed to do and get on code is the people that's listening, or the people that's with A2, then that's who I'm rolling with. I'm not trying to be friends with everybody. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I really don't.
But you know what's sad?
What's up?
If you really listen to these people, I mean, honestly, really listen to them when they speak. They don't want to be Indian to fix the problem, to fix the community. They want to be Indian to get away from responsibility. Don't want to pay taxes. Don't want to be responsible for this. Don't want to be responsible for that. That's why they want to claim Indian. They're not claiming Indian as family. They claiming it as a way out. Let's keep that 100.
Oh, that's big facts. Come on now.
Yeah.
You still got people today talking about, well, how do I get to the casino money?
Here's a question. Here's a question I want. Here's a question I would love. And for those of us who actually help people, and yes, I said it. For those of us that actually help people,
That's a jab.
people that you actually help do not have a problem. They never have a problem verifying or validating or even recording what you've done for them. So for those of you who are claiming, to get people out of jail, can we hear a recording? Can we see a recording? Because I would love to. I don't need to hear what you're saying. You can get some editor to edit out the particular person's name, but let's have some testimonies, because I'm hearing a lot of people saying they doing something, but
that goes for all you genealogicalists out there. claiming that you're doing genealogy for folks, but ain't nobody. Well, I know some people are posting for others, saying, "Oh, they helped me with this, they helped me with that." I want a direct link on how you help somebody, since you're making all this noise, supposedly in the community, apparently, allegedly. I'm going on mute.
Because you can blot out the social security numbers, you can blot out the real names, you can just do this, have a voice come on. I just really want to hear these people that you're helping get out of jail. I really want to hear that. And
Get
you
out
know,
of jail,
and for
find their
those
tribe, all of the above.
and for those people who are actually in jail, the phone conversations are recorded anyway, so you can actually record a recorded phone conversation. Um, but y'all know law, so y'all should already know that. Y'all should already
Yeah,
know.
it's
So
real
that should,
easy to prove most things.
yeah. So
I don't know, CMH. A lot of claims come off as if it can be done. Not that I've done it. You know what I mean? It can be done.
No, I've heard people make statements of. No,
I do it.
I've heard people make statements of. I've helped people get out of jail, or I've helped people. I've helped people with their court situation. I would love to see the court case because that's public information. Just give me the court number. I'll look it up. And if you're right, and if it's true, hey, I'll apologize and I'll post it.
I'm waiting to apologize. Hey,
I
questions, comments,
apologize.
concerns. Believe me, oh, believe. Don't get me started.
Now, I will
Questions,
come on
comments,
your.
concerns, and/or corrections, please email us at autochtonusassembly@gmail.com. That ain't changed, and the number at the top ain't changed. If it's still at the top, I don't know where y'all at, but I'm sure that's listed somewhere. We can be contacted.
And I come on your channel and apologize. Yeah, however you want the apology to be.
I'll sing in the background.
You said you'll be my backup singer.
I definitely will. I volunteer right now for that.
Because I know I was wrong, and I'm singing.
I mean, again, it's about getting it right. Again, we don't claim that what we're doing is the only right way. This is the way that we know that works. So,
And we are itching for the way that works as well legally. That is parallel to what we are doing. At the very
yeah,
least, parallel.
if you got something that's working, let's see it. Let's hear about it. I want to know. I will promote. Y'all know me. I'll promote it. I'll promote the
We've been
fire.
here, 5 days straight for months on end, and I don't really see any parallel universe of information happening with what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Not saying it's the only way. Where's the other way?
And for the record, we're not saying that you have to join a tribe. You don't
Now,
have
could
to
you go
join
in
a
on that a little
tribe.
bit, TMH? Because I hear a lot of people griping about not wanting to be around no weirdos on no reservations or whatever they say.
Man, listen,
Listen,
Horse addressed that too, and it's simple again. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. And I don't care about how nobody feels, because enough is enough of this foolishness. You do not have to be part of a tribe or say Indian to fix your community, to care about the future, to care about the children. You're trying to trade. You're trading one title for another title without no work. What have you done?
mm-hmm.
What have you done? You're just chasing labels, chasing brands. Indian isn't a title. It's a culture. It's a lifestyle, a responsibility. And these jokes need to stop. Us as relatives need to realize, as long as this foolishness goes on, it makes our job harder. When are we going to realize that? Because the odds are people going to come across the foolishness before they come across the real. Then what happens? The honest ones, the innocent ones get lumped in with the foolishness. You have a legitimate chief. Before all this stuff happened, Chief Warhorse, on everybody's page. Now all of a sudden, she don't know what she's talking about. Why? Because she letting you know that you're on the side of wrong? Think about this, relatives. A chief is letting some of us know that we're on the side of wrong. And instead of correcting that, we take shots at the chief.
Yep. Some adults being told the right thing. You know how adults get when they don't want to be told that they was wrong this whole time. Lash out like children.
So if that's the case, why are we digging through our heritage to find our Indian ancestors if we're not even finna honor the ones that are living right now? How? I'm really confused here. Honor and respect, but you have a living one now. And she doesn't have to be our tribal chief. She is a chief.
Mm-hmm.
She's telling us.
Yeah,
She's
but
laying it out for you. How many times people came out here, oh, I wish the tribes would talk, I wish the tribes would talk, but when they do, we don't listen. That's the problem. Because it don't fit our narrative. That's why we're in this mess right now. Be messed up. We probably be the majority of the ones that sold out. That's how it's starting to look to me.
Bones, you got people who think that it's still the white man and the Native American that did that. They sold us out. It wasn't us.
Right now,
not our
listen,
complexion.
life goes in cycles. Life goes in cycles, relatives. Take a step back and put your emotions outside of it. We are seeing what caused the infiltration right now. Because when it came time to choose right, some of us wanted to choose personal over right.
Think about
It's time we have a chance to get it right. This is our generation time to get it right. We got to put our personal feelings aside and we got to stand for what's right. And if we don't ever understand that, we're dooming the next generation. We got to get past square one. First things first. What's right? What's right?
Gotta love it. The goal is to make you pick a side. And by virtue of telling you that, and this is funny, chiefs that have tribes that are on land are actually the ones that are working with the government to deceive you. So basically what they're saying is our elder, our Indian mentor, Chief Warhorse, is working with the government to keep us trapped. And no one wants to tell you the truth, and only these fake chiefs that don't have proof of their lineage, can't prove their lineage, and don't have any other tribes to validate for them, that they're the real chiefs, and that the real chiefs are the fake chiefs, and that people should listen to them, but they don't have anybody in their own communities to vouch for them. Colorado, if you a chief, where's your tribe and where's the people in the area that you live that's gonna validate for you, bro?
I think he travels to them. Too much traveling.
No, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. If you're a chief, where the rest of your family members?
Whoa, yeah. Sisters, brothers, mothers, cousins,
I ain't pulling no
somebody.
punches with you suckers. Where's the rest of the family members? Because just as sure as you're an Indian, that means your brothers and sisters is. See, I don't know who they fooling.
That sounds like a members only jacket.
If I trace myself back to my tribe, you know what that means? My brothers and sisters are traced back. My mother and father is traced back. Who are y'all fooling?
Mm-hmm. Well, Colorado, I'm sure you'll put out a video.
I don't know, TMH. He didn't put out a last video he said he'd respond to. Dressing all the haters out there.
And the only reason I'm calling out Colorado is because he has refused to address his association with what that knucklehead name is. What that boy name is?
Ham hock cheesecake.
Yeah. Hema. You chilling with Hemok and them. Hemok and the scammers. You ain't addressed that yet.
Wait, was that a pun? Like he's mocking the scammers?
No, it sounds like a rap group. Early 80s, the first rap group. He mocking the scammers.
Chat, I need y'all help because the panel is not working with me.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Wow, really?
I'm grown.
Anyway, like I was saying before, I was interrupted by No Sellout and Gabrielle. Oh, for the record, y'all.
Oh, come on, don't.
No, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
No. For the record,
Hold on, what happened?
TMH being special.
come on, that's what I do. That's what I do. I don't know why y'all acting all brand new. Like y'all didn't know. So special, so
That's
special,
a bad
so special.
combination. Ham hock and cheesecake.
Ew.
Okay, I'm not eating now.
That just sounds like a stomach ache. That sounds like a
Anybody heard Bones' chair pushed away from the table?
That boy Wig said sounds like a 70s R&B group.
But I'm telling you, look, I can already see the album cover right now.
He mocking the scammers.
Bunch of tight clothes. And jerky curls.
And take your mama's skirt off.
Oh, baby Bubba.
You said take your mama's skirt off.
Catch your mama makeup.
Wait, was that a pun at their slippers showing?
I'll let you be the judge.
Okay, I'll stop.
You know the law. I'll let you be the judge.
I don't know. I mean, I do
You
not.
Gabby, go on here.
I'm going on.
You almost hit the swear jar hard.
So
Group words don't come on here and cuss. What's wrong with you, Gabby?
And you know what else is funny and very interesting to me?
What's that, Bones?
That the American Indians of today, we're trying to live in today's time in advance and upgrade ourselves with everybody else. And it's funny how people want to take you back to a time way before that.
Oh, you mean like the Amish? Because it's the same mentality.
That they don't realize 2019 tribes are fighting to be self-sufficient, to go beyond the parts of being taken care of by the federal government. But how can that happen if people are doing these fraudulent things?
Facts.
And look how it fits into the stereotype. The majority of the people that get jammed up are the ones that get shown a lot that's doing it, are the ones that look like us.
Mm-hmm.
So now, would it make sense why a lot of these tribes have a problem with people who look like us? Because what do they see? You have to realize their only interaction with a lot of us is through what? Media. They can only judge us by what they see. So again, Chief Warhorse told y'all, these tribes are listening. These chiefs are listening. So if they sitting here listening and watching the majority of us support this stuff, why would they ever come out? Why would they ever try to help us? Why? Why would you try to help somebody if you see what they're doing is reckless and dangerous?
Man, listen, y'all be treated like the Jehovah's Witness on a Saturday morning. Stop playing. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in.
Door wide open. I'm looking at you and I ain't answering.
Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because if you not, I got this pamphlet right here. Well,
if you believe that one, I got another one for you.
Be nice, y'all. I know I opened the door, so yes, I'm gonna close on y'all toes. Move your feet back. Move your feet back.
No, but you know what? Truth be told, and I actually had an argument with someone. I've had an argument with a couple of people.
You, Gabby, argue? Gabrielle, argue? Gabrielle doesn't argue with people. Gabrielle is very cordial. Very contrite. Very friendly. Go on, Gabrielle. Eat shit.
This guy tried to tell me, he said, some things that he said to me. And I said, look, the help that I got, the help you giving me, you look like me and you hurting me. But the help that I'm getting from these so-called white people, the white man's holding you down, they're the ones that help me like, look, you're dealing with a lie. You're going to get hemmed up, walk away. So it's one of those things where people are perpetuating a skin color as a separation, and it's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not true.
People were taught to believe in race, and race does not exist. There is
Right.
no such thing. It's a creation. And we got to realize, school, like we said before the show, school did its job. School did exactly what it was supposed to do, indoctrinate us into a given belief system. But race isn't no real thing. What stops an American Indian from mating with an Italian? Nothing. So that means we're the same people.
Right.
We got the same.
Some
When
of
I
them
mean
are born
same
with
people, I
tails.
mean the same genetic makeup. Human beings, we all have the same genetic makeup. We can have relations with each other. A cat and a dog can't have relations. Different genetic makeup.
Reptilians,
Relations.
Don't do that.
alien babies.
We were given races and colors and categories. Go back and look at the census and see what it did. It conditioned us to identify people under man-made categories, and we all suffer from it. We all do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to read, y'all.
Put the link in the chat.
Stop yelling at me. Such a meanie.
I learned it by watching you.
Okay.
No, okay.
Nope. Not even. Not even. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the upper chat.
The other one.
The other one. Oh, where'd it go? Did you remove the chat, Bones?
Ooh, you broke it again. You broke something
Uh-uh.
else.
I'll do that right now.
Ooh, you broke it again.
I did not. Stop it. You just make sure you got the link so you can read. How about that?
Stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling
I'm you for that.
yet.
It's so loud. Shout out to Double Cousin.
Cause a commotion and then tell somebody it's loud. That's on you, baby.
Man, rise and power
That
to
was the
nine.
cutest, funniest thing.
Okay, lady with the click itis, Gabrielle.
Yes.
You read to read?
Yes.
Nature's voice said, "Wait, how many chats we got? We got 15." Thanks to Bones, we got 15. 15, Trailing, Saline.
There's no problem communicating. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, Lord.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. I understand you like the mouse. You want to be its click. But go ahead, let's go.
Okay. Okay. You said it. You on it. Oh, okay. I just got the link. It just showed up on mine. So.
I just got it. She just got it like yesterday. I just got here. Well, I said you just joined the channel.
You said I just did?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Maybe you
Nature's voice says, "Careful, Gabby. I don't know what I did, but whatever he hearing, okay, I'm gonna be good."
all that clicking on them. A whole lot of clicking going on.
Okay, where are we at? We're like the third paragraph, right?
Third paragraph of sources for the conquest of Central Mexico.
Oh wait. Third paragraph of sources. Oh, we're way down there.
You deaf.
You read all that?
You read too. Friday, you don't mumble?
Almost about a week ago.
Oh yeah, we went through the timelines. Okay. I remember. I remember. I learned what you
I want the knife, please. Come on, man, let's go.
Okay. Let's go. All right. Sources for the conquest of Central Mexico.
Let him ask again.
The third paragraph, Gabriel. The third paragraph.
Third
Gabriel.
paragraph.
Yeah, where it says the first Spanish account of the conquest was written by the lead conqueror.
Okay. From there. All right. The first Spanish account of the conquest was written by lead conqueror Hernan Cortez, who sent a series of letters to the Spanish monarch Charles, what's that, the fifth?
Yep.
Okay. Giving a contemporary account of the conquest from his point of view, in which he justifies his actions. These were almost
Immediately.
Immediately published in Spain and later in other parts of Europe. Much later, Spanish conqueror Bernal Diaz del Castillo, a well-seasoned participant in the conquest of Central Mexico, wrote what he called the true history of the conquest of New Spain, countering the account by Cortez's official biographer, Francisco Lopez de Guatemala. Bernal Diaz's account had begun as a Benemerito petition for rewards, but he expanded it to encompass a full history of his earlier expeditions in the Caribbean and Tierra Firme, and the conquests of the AZTEC. A number of lower-ranked Spanish conquerors wrote say it again.
It again? No, it's right. Benemerito.
Petition to the Spanish crown, requesting rewards for their services in the conquest, including Juan Diaz, Andres de Tapio, Garcia de Pilar, and Fray Francisco de Aguilar. Cortez's right-hand man, Pedro de Alvarado, did not write at any length about his actions in the New World, and died as a man of action in the Mixton War in 1542. Two letters to Cortez about Alvarado's campaigns in Guatemala are published in the Conquistadors.
So stop. And time speaks. So we see already, because this chapter, this paragraph are basically the accounts of the conquest, meaning there were numerous accounts. And it reads that the Bernal Diaz del Castillo wrote what he called the true history of the conquest of New Spain, counting the account of Cortez's official biographer, Francisco Lopez de Guatemala. So you have two Iberians claiming what happened in the New World, aka Central and South America. What lets you know right there was some shenanigans afoot when it comes to the history of the Spaniards coming to Central and South America, or aka the Iberians. A lot of posturing going on. A lot of people wanted to put their spin on history. A lot of people want to make themselves the BMOC, big man on campus. You know, aka BMOP, not to be confused with HEMOP. So it's just crazy how these stories get, as to use a word that no sellout would use, verbose. I still haven't looked that word up. But anyway, just a bunch of fakery, bunch of lies, bunch of making things seem more than what they were. A lot of fiction, that's the word I'm going to use. A lot of fiction in their biographies. So this is what we're dealing with. They've already admitted that, so we can go on. Can you read the next paragraph, or will you read the next paragraph, Gabrielle?
Oh, okay. The Chronicles of the so-called Anonymous Conqueror was written sometime in the 16th century, entitled in an earlier 20th century translation to English as Narrative of Some Things of New Spain and the Great City of Tenochtitlan. Oh, Tenochtitlan. Rather than it being a petition for rewards for services, as many Spanish accounts were, the anonymous conqueror made observations about the indigenous situation at the time of the conquest. The account was used by 18th century Jesuit Francisco Javier Claviero in his descriptions in the history of Mexico.
Keep going, please. Oh well, she didn't click. She didn't went on to another link. Let me guess. You clicked on Francisco Javier Carriero.
Possibly. Well, it's interesting because.
Let me click on it so they can see what you see. Go ahead. What's interesting about it?
Okay, because Francisco Lopez de Gorma, he went to the University of Alcala and then journeyed to Rome and wrote the book or writings that was disputed by Hernan Cortez, based off of speaking with the conquerors, the conquistadors, and writing down the events that they had described coming back. And then here it is, excuse me, Francisco Javier Claviero. He was a Mexican Jesuit teacher, scholar, and historian, and went to Italy, where he wrote valuable works on the pre-Columbian history and civilization of Mesoamerica. But both of them are they're both being disputed by, what's his name?
Quick announcement, TMA's radio station is back online.
Yay, good job, Bones. Keep up the good work.
Really? That's what we doing?
TMH, don't break it again.
I ain't making no promises.
TMH hating on the motivation.
Go ahead.
Too much hate.
Haters everywhere we go.
TM hate.
Hey, Bones.
You telling?
No,
Always
Bones.
Yeah,
Tell him
I'm
Winslow.
back. Yeah.
Hey, can you do me a favor and tell?
Look, he was
Don't say nothing. Be quiet. Nothing. Bones.
telling on Bones the way Bones came back.
Bones, can you?
Nothing, Bones.
Bones,
He's about
can
to
you-
ask Bones if he can edit us out.
No, no, I can do that. Can you?
Oh.
Bones, can you let everybody know why we didn't have any music? Because I think that's important for people to know. What happened to the music?
I
Yeah,
think he
somebody
said
called
too.
themselves, I guess, mad. So tried to report the radio station like it was something illegal. Put everything legal.
Yeah.
Just temporary. Put everything back to normal.
So my plan didn't work, huh?
Those
No.
diabolical.
I'm out here to find the fake Bones. I think he got a fake family and all of that.
It don't matter. They couldn't attack the website, so they're gonna attack the station. So you do realize once we get our own station, once the tower go up, you attack that, you going to jail. Almost made me
You
cuss.
tagging the government.
Yeah.
It's rain on your head.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. That's some fragging at the bull right there, for real.
You was saying something, Gabby?
I was saying that was some fragging at the bull.
I'm speaking in reference to the the information that we were reading
Oh,
about, because you was talking about Francisco Javier Clavijero.
okay, yeah. I
EJ
get back
got
to
it.
it. I apologize.
No.
I was thinking about they won't
But I interrupted you, and then Bones was letting us know that the radio station was back up, so we both kind of interrupted you.
Well,
So
I'm glad that the radio station is back up. So if they sitting in the car crying, code in.
wait, what?
She said that they sitting in the car crying. Hold him.
Pulled in.
You tried and failed. Hope you got paid for it.
Anyway, so
Right now.
So where are you at, Gabrielle?
In her skin, in
Okay.
her body,
Okay.
in her
I'll
room,
jump
in the house, on the plot of land, on the street, in the neighborhood.
What was that?
Dirty! What? Dirty!
I muted the wrong person.
You muted
A
both of
mayor,
us.
and
I muted the wrong person. I muted him and he didn't even know he was talking. He was muted.
that's messed up.
That's dirty. He muted me, you. That's dirty. That's dirty.
I'm muting you and him. You gonna mute me?
You gonna mute me? You gonna
Get out my
mute?
face.
That's
I hate all y'all. That was a good rant, man. You muted me.
I muted Gabby by
No,
accident.
he muted me trying to mute you first, so it didn't get to you.
But I got to him. I got to him though. I got
Not
to
in
him.
time though.
So, trust and believe. I got to him.
If I missed anything, y'all, as far as domiciles go, let me know. Ask her where she at. What you mean?
I'm at home. Where are you?
Technically, you got to know what you mean. What you mean? Tell her what you mean. Otherwise, you're gonna get the Gabby Givens.
That is not how I don't do it that bad.
Security.
Okay, so the M and TMH is about to have a new meaning.
Thomas the
Too
Train.
mute. I gotta get a family-friendly word for the H. I don't know. Thomas muting. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Thomas mad hating.
No, the M got to be mute. Yeah, here willy nilly.
Thomas mute hating.
That boy Wiggs has TMH, aka Big Worm.
Exactly. Thomas, I'm muting you and playing with my volume.
What kind of dude you
It's
gonna
like playing with
hate
my
like that
emotions.
good? Who you know playing like that in the hood?
You said he invited him to. You said he invited you to his office when you seen him, right? You said his address was posted, right? Name one person in the hood that play like that.
You know what? I'm gonna y'all stop.
He ain't playing. You think he playing about these gun laws? You don't know where your mama stay. You don't know where you stay.
Oh,
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, you ain't.
I had a 94 flashback. I ain't seen that movie since 99.
I actually saw it 2 Fridays ago.
Oh, that's terrible. See, I refuse to watch it, actually. I watched it so much when I was young. I refuse to watch it. I have not seen it in a long, long time.
you know.
But I still know all the lyrics.
Yeah, that's how I am now. I watch it so much. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, there's a few tapes out there I refuse to watch.
You said he had his address posted, right?
Baby, you can come see me. Just for all the haters. The player haters out there.
Oh no.
Okay. Bounce.
Ellen Winslow.
Name one dude that play like that in the hood.
This is a fun show, guys.
You said he said call in, right?
You say he had a number posted when you seen him, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't
Bones was on mute that whole time. Wait. He called your name 3 times. Bones! Bones!
I have to get back to the mic.
Help!
Bones be like his mic be moving.
Yep, look.
I step out the room, let me catch the mic.
He be moving. What you talking about? Bones left his mic at the bottom of the escalator. I gotta go back down the other one to get it. Hold up.
They not acting right.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. We is doing the show. We live, ain't we?
Yeah, really?
I'm gonna be back at 8:00, and you bet call in.
Nah, 8:45.
Y'all
That
finished?
address.
Y'all finished?
I got to walk Gabby down to her house.
You know where your chief stay, my chief stay.
Been investigating. I'm sorry. We is going off on a Gabby. We live.
Okay.
I feel like this is post
Okay, you know what?
production.
My bad. I'm my bad. Okay. Yeah, this dude feel like
Do you remember where you was at?
pre-live. Okay, you know what? I forgot. Thomas mute hating. Never mind. That's a different shot.
I only muted once.
No, I've been muted several times. I don't know how many times. I've been muted several times. Like no.
Not several. You've been muted a couple times. You've been
Okay,
muted
what's
twice.
the definition of several?
More than twice.
Okay, I've been muted more than twice. I've been muted more than a few times. A few means 3, right?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or more.
Yeah, a few.
3.
A couple
is
means 2.
Two,
A few
is
means more than
3.
3, and several. That's hitting that 7 number. Yeah, no.
No, I haven't. Never mind. Can you read?
Yes, I can read.
Go get to reading it.
Okay. I'm gonna read. I'm on the indigenous side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On the indigenous side, the allies of Cortez, particularly say that for me.
That for me.
Word.
It's Tlaxcalans. That's how I pronounce it. That don't mean it's right. Tlaxcalans.
Okay. wrote extensively about their services to the Spanish crown in the conquest, arguing for special privileges for themselves. The most important of these are the Pictorio Lienzo de Taxcala.
Taxclac. That's how I think that's how James pronounces it. Taxclac. Yeah, Taxclac.
And the Historia de Taxclac by Diego Munez Camargo. Less successfully, the Nahu allies.
The Nawa.
Yeah, we were reading about them last week.
Mm-hmm.
Allies from. Say that word for me.
Why you draw out the S like it started with an S? It's a Huzotzinco.
Huzotzinco.
Yeah. Yes, that's close
Here,
enough.
Taxcla argued that their contributions had been overlooked by the Spanish. In a letter to Nahuti, to the Spanish crown, the indigenous lords of Huzotzinco lay out their case in their valorous service. The letter has been published in Nahuti and in English translation by James Lockhart in We People Here, Nahuti accounts of the conquest of Mexico in 1991. Texcoco, patriot and member of noble family there, Fernando Alva, ain't playing with that, petitioned the Spanish crown in Spanish, saying that Texcoco had not received sufficient rewards for their support of the conquistadors, particularly after the Spanish were forced out of Tenochtitlan. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, am I still reading?
No. So it says that the Tlaxcalans were the allies of Cortez. Can we find out who the Tlaxcalans are? Hold on. I'm pulling it up now. It should be on the screen shortly. Okay. The Tlaxcalans, or the Tlaxcaltecs, are an indigenous group of Nahua ethnicity who inhabited the Republic of Tlaxcala and present-day Mexican state of Tlaxcala.
Lock and drop it. Okay, my bad.
The Tlaxcaltecs were originally...
Somebody family gonna get you, Gabby. It's probably yours.
The Tlaxcaltecs were originally a conglomeration of three distinct ethnic groups who spoke Nahuatl, Otomi, and Pinomi. Eventually, the Nahuatl speakers became the dominant ethnic group. Despite early attempts by the Mexica, the Tlaxcaltecs were never conquered by the Aztec Triple Alliance. The Aztecs allowed them to maintain their independence so they could participate in the Yoshio Yaro Yoshia wow Yoshi Ayoto Yoshia Yoro with them to facilitate human sacrifice. I don't think they did human sacrifice. Anyway, it says the Tlaxcaltecs served as allies to Hernan Cortez and his fellow Spanish conquistadors, and were instrumental in the invasion of the Tenochtitlan capital of the Aztec Empire, helping the Spanish reach the valley of Anahuac, and provided a key contingent of the invasion force. Due to their alliance with the Spanish crown in the conquest of Mexico, the Tlaxcaltecas enjoyed some privileges among the indigenous peoples of Mexico, including the right to carry guns, ride horses, hold noble title, and to rule their settlements autonomously.
What year was that? What year is that?
It doesn't say. I don't see a year. Give me a second.
Okay, what's the link you're on?
I'm sorry, I put it in.
Yeah, we know. Just don't let it happen again.
Don't do that. You would be on perma-mute.
See?
What?
Thomas mute hating.
Mm-mm. So where was I? Oh yeah, you asked what time frame this was.
$13.25. I think.
No, but this is doing. They were allies of Hernan Cortez, so this had to be in the 1500s.
1521.
Right before 1540.
1521.
Right. So
Actually, 1453 to 1521.
So then it says that Tlaxcaltecas were also instrumental in the establishment of a number of settlements in northern Mexico, including parts of present-day southeastern Texas, where conquest of local tribes by the Spaniards have proved unsuccessful. They were taken to areas inhabited by nomadic bellicose tribes known as the Chichimaca, to serve as examples for the local indigenous groups of sedentary model subjects of the Spanish crown and to work in mines and haciendas. Then it goes on to read the Tlaxcaltec colonies in the Chichimaca included settlements in the modern states of San Luis Potosí, Zacatecas, Durango, Coahuila, Nuevo León, Nueva Tlaxcala, de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe, de Horcasitas, today known as Guadalupe. Really? They made me say all that just to say known as today as Guadalupe, and Santiago de las Sabinas, today known as Sabinas Hidalgo, and Jalisco, Villa de Nueva Tlaxcala de Guadalucistian, today known as Colotian.
Can you click on Chichimeca?
You gonna read that?
Sure. Chichimeca.
What are you doing? Gabrielle?
Yeah.
Chichimeca.
Really, that's what we doing?
Okay. Was the name of the Nuha peoples.
Nua.
Mexico. Nua.
Yeah.
Of Mexico, generally applied to nomadic and semi-nomadic peoples who were established in present-day Bajío region of Mexico. Chichimeca carried the same sense as the Roman term barbarian to describe Germanic tribes. The name, with its pejorative sense, was adopted by the Spanish Empire. For the Spanish, in the words of scholar Charlotte M. Grady, the Chichimecas were a wild nomadic people who lived north of the Valley of Mexico. They had, they had no fixed dwelling places, lived by hunting, wore little clothes, and fiercely resisted foreign intrusions in their territory, which happened to contain silver mines the Spanish wished to exploit. The Spanish invasion resulted in a drastic population decline of all the peoples known collectively as Chichimecas, and to the eventual disappearance as and to the eventual disappearance as peoples of all save the Pamis of San Luis Potosi and the related Chichimeca Ones of the Sierra Gorda in eastern Guanajuato. In modern times, only one ethnic group is customarily referred to as Chichimecs, namely the Chichimeca-Hones, a few thousand of whom lived in the state of Guanajuato.
What happened?
With what?
You got quiet.
I stopped speaking.
So you stop reading?
Yes. You want me to keep reading on this page or go back?
You can go back.
Go back?
Yes, go back. See.
Okay. Wait, go back to Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire or Tlaxcaltec.
Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire.
Okay, where am I at on there? I lost my place. What's my motivation? Okay, wait. The best known indigenous. Nope, I read that one. A text from the Nahu. Right?
Hold on.
Oh no, it's the best known indigenous account of the conquest.
You read that whole paragraph? Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did. It had James Lockhart in it, which was actually, when they're referencing James Lockhart's books, I kind of jumped forward on a link about him. It's actually his perspective on the events that were written about. It's facts, but it's his perspective put in with.
It's not a first-hand account.
Right. Okay. The best known indigenous account of the conquest is Book 12 of Bernardino de Sahagún. General History of the Things of New Spain, and published as the Florentine Codex, in parallel columns of Nahuti and Spanish, with pictorials. Less well known is Sahagun's. 1585 revision of the conquest account, which shifts from the indigenous viewpoint entirely and inserts a crucial junctures passages lauding the Spanish and in particular Hernan Cortez. Another indigenous account compiled by a Spanish Fier is Dominican Diego Duran's The History of the Indies of New Spain from 1581 with many color illustrations.
Stop. It says the best known indigenous account is Book 12 of Bernardino de Sahagun's General History of Things of New Spain. It says general history. It's not being specific. It was published as a Florentine Codex. So it says in parallel columns, Nahuatl, and Spanish. It says it gives pictorials. And it says it shifts from the indigenous viewpoint entirely. Think about this. It says it shifts from the indigenous viewpoint entirely and it inserts a crucial junctures passage lauding the Spanish and in particular Hernan Cortez. Then says another indigenous account compiled by a Spanish friar. So the Spanish friar compiled a indigenous account.
Can you click on Bernardino de Sahagun?
Mm-hmm.
Does that have anything to do with San Bernardino, California?
Maybe.
I got to say so, yeah.
Is it hot or what out there? Anybody? I don't know. Y'all been there? It's hot as I don't know.
It's getting hot in here.
They got burned in the name, saying Bernardino. It's hot.
Gabby.
Burn them all!
Okay, Gabby Reed. No sell out hush. Okay.
Is that a verb?
Look, I'm tired of sitting in this desk next to the teacher's desk. You ain't gonna keep doing me like this.
You know,
I ain't even doing
facing
that.
me with the class like I'm the teacher. What's wrong? And then I can't talk like the teacher. What's wrong?
Really? This is what we doing?
You put me up here.
I didn't put you anywhere.
Oh, you talking about Gabby? Never mind. Gabby, he put you up there.
Gabrielle?
Yes.
You want us to click on Bernardino de Sahagun? Can you read, please?
Oh, 1499, October 23rd, 1590. Oh, 1499 through October 23rd, 1590. Was a Franciscan Friar. Missionary priest. Wait, a Franciscan Friar. Franciscans are a group of related mendicant religious orders with the Catholic Church, founded in 1209 by Saint Francis of Assisi. These orders include the Order of Friars Minor, the Order of St. Clare, and the Third Order of St. Francis. They adhere to the teachings and spiritual disciples of the founder of his main associates and followers, such as Clare of Assisi, Anthony of Padua, and Elizabeth of Hungary, among many others. So, having that understanding, he was a missionary priest and pioneering and ethnographer who participated in the Catholic evangelization of colonial New Spain. Okay, an ethnographer is defined as an illuminative account of social life and culture in particular social systems based on multiple detailed observations of what people actually do in social settings being observed. Okay, so born in Sahagun, Spain in 1499, he joined the New Spain in 1529. He learned Nahuatl and spent more than 50 years in the study of Aztec beliefs, cultures, and history. Though he was primarily devoted to his missionary task, his extraordinary work documenting indigenous worldview and culture has earned him the title as the first anthropologist. He also contributed to the description of the Aztec language, Nahuatl. He translated the Psalms, the Gospels, and a catechism into Nahuatl.
Stop. I need y'all to understand how dedicated these individuals were.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing that this depiction of Bernardino de Iberia, who was supposed to have been from Spain, an Iberian from Spain, who came to the Americas, or New Spain in 1529. He wouldn't have been that light, y'all. Y'all know that, right? This is not a proper depiction of who this man was as far as complexion is concerned. Because according to Benjamin Franklin, the world at this particular time was mostly swarthy, and there was only a few areas where it was not swarthy at all. And Spain was not one of those areas that he referred to. So based off of Benjamin Franklin's narrative, Bernardino de Iberia was a dark-complected man. So let's take that perspective and now look at it from, you have a priest or a missionary come over who looks like your people, but they speak a different language. So you let them come and learn and study with you. 30 years. Notice that he spent more than 50 years in the study. And he learned Nahuatl, which was their language. So, from that, is it safe to say that you think that he has some influence on those people? 50 years now. So basically from 1529 to 1579, he spent influencing and learning about these people. So much so that he was able to contribute to translating Psalms and the Gospel and the Catechism in Nahuatl. This is interesting. He's supposed to be representing Catholicism, right? So he goes and translates the Psalms and the Gospels into Nahuatl. So there is an early indoctrination even after Cortez comes in, or excuse me, De Soto comes in the form of Quetzalcoatl, bringing the Tao, which is literally him bringing a version of the cross, so that the Indians would accept him and then help convert everybody else over. this missionary is one of the continuing processes of that. But he was not a white man. This is the thing that I need y'all to understand. He was a melanated European. He was a melanated Berber. Or what they would have been considered as then. Well, he couldn't have been considered a more than because he was practicing Catholicism. So had he been a missionary who was practicing Protestant, he'd have been considered a Moor. And I need y'all to understand that. It was a religious practice that declared them as Moors. So whether he was a practicing Muslim or practicing Protestant, which is basically more somebody that protests Christianity, they say Muslims protest Christianity too, or Catholicism, they were all declared Moors. So this gentleman, by definition, was not a Moor because he was practicing Catholicism. Had he been practicing Christianity, had he been practicing Protestant or Islam, he would have been considered a Moor. So, just something to think about. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
And do what?
Please, yes, please read. Please continue reading. Hold on. Read all the way down to contents, please.
You sure? You said no, hold on.
Yeah.
No, for real, you sure?
Why wouldn't I be sure?
Oh, that was a long, okay, I'm reading. Sahagun is perhaps best known as the compiler of the Historia General de las Casas de la Nueva España. In English, really? They kill me. Okay. In English, General History of the Things of New Spain, hereinafter referred to as Historia General, so general history. The most famous extant manuscript of the Historia General is the Florentine Codex. It is a codex consisting of 2,400 pages organized into 12 books with approximately 2,500 illustrations drawn by native artists using both native and European techniques. That's possible?
Stop. Reread that part again.
It is a codex consisting of 2,400 pages organized into 12 books with approximately 2,500 illustrations drawn by native artists using native and European techniques.
So what does that tell you if this is actually have any truth to it?
I'm confused. It was drawn by natives. The artists, they were native,
right?
Using both native and European, so that the natives were taught European techniques in drawing and painting.
How do you learn that type of art?
You're taught it.
Where do you learn it though?
From people. School.
Exactly. Where would they have gone to school at?
Where they... Okay, so I'm not going to answer because I feel like this is just going to come off really, really bad.
In Spain.
Okay.
They went to school in Spain. They had Indians go to school in Spain to learn how to paint from a European perspective or from an Iberian perspective.
So they taught them how to...
You gotta realize they were being influenced by the missionary as he was learning their culture and getting them to assimilate. You don't think he wrote all these books by himself, do you?
And this was, hold on, when did it say from 1499 to 1590. So they're starting off the control or the winning over the Aztecs and the natives of the land in 1521. And this dude pops up on the scene. He studies the people for 50 years. He studies them for 50 years, learning and translating Psalms and the Gospels into the native language.
Yeah, and why do you think he would do that?
To convert.
Right.
And he learned them and the language and their culture and the people and their beliefs to combine it with the Catholic religion. Wow.
Because eventually he would end up doing what? Open up an Indian school. And have the younger kids growing up learning this stuff.
The alphabet text is bilingual in Spanish and Nahuatl on opposing folios, and the pictorials should be considered a third kind of text. It documents the culture, religious cosmology, worldview, ritual practices, society, economics, and history of the Aztec people. And in Book 12 gives an account of the conquest of Mexico from the Tenochtitlan and Texcoco point of view. In the process of putting together the Historia General, Sahangan pioneered new methods of gathering ethnographic information and validating its accuracy. The Historia Generals has been called one of the most remarkable accounts of non-Western culture ever composed, and Sahagan has been called the father of American ethnography.
Now I'm gonna click on ethnography and I'm gonna read what ethnography is. Ethnography is defined as the illuminative account of social life and culture in a particular social system based on multiple detailed observations of what people actually do in the social setting being observed. This is your original social studies. Ethnography can be described as both qualitative and quantitative research methods that are used by sociologists when studying specific groups, communities, or institutions found being a part of a larger complex society. These larger societies that sociologists could possibly observe and are entities of such. Let me read this. These larger societies that sociologists could possibly observe in are entities such as gangs. The use of ethnography is most commonly used by sociologists who take a more specific look into society as well as propose research for studies involving participant observation. With the society, it can be used for organizations, communities, cults, etc. As we look at the different types of ethnographies today, the research will focus on social aspects such as digital or virtual ethnographies. Since generation social anthropology is derived within the ideas of anthropology, but the use of ethnography today is described in a less severe manner, such as research opinions and other forms of social studies. So now we know what ethnography is. Basically a form of social studies. So Bernardino de Rivera is considered the father of social studies or ethnography. And that's what you wanted me to look up, right? Bernardino de Sahagos. Gabriel? Gabriel. All right.
Yes, that is what I wanted you to read, I think.
So now we can read the text from the next paragraph.
Wait, on
the Spanish conquest, Aztec Empire.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm there. Accounts.
A text from the Nuat point of view.
Gotcha. A text from the Nuat point of view. The Annales de Tecla. Nope. Say that for me, please. Tlaclaco. And drop. Okay, I got it now. Tlaclac.
Tlaclaco.
Reference.
Tlaclaco. I got it now. Tlaclac and drop. I got it. Okay. Tlaclaco. An early indigenous account in Nahut. That's a L. Nahut.
Nawat. It's Nawat or Nawat. Yeah. Because UA is A, like as in Wa. Nawat. HUA is Wa. Go ahead.
I'll get it. Say okay. Nuado. Perhaps.
Being disrespectful.
No.
Just watch my videos, okay? Wow.
Remained in indigenous hands until it was published. Wait, what happened? A text from the Wa point of view. The Annales
of Tlaclaco. Basically, the Annals of Tlaclaco or Tlaclac.
Okay, it is a manuscript written in Nahuatl using Latin characters by anonymous Aztec authors. The text has no pictorial content, although there is an assertion that the text was a copy of one written in 1528 in Tlaclaco, only 7 years after the fall of Aztec Empire. James
Lockhart.
Yep. James Lockhart argues that there is no evidence for this early date of composition based on internal evidence of the text. However, he supports the contention that this is an authentic conquest account, arguing that it was composed about 20 years after the conquest in the 1540s and contemporaneous with the Cuernavaca census. What's the Cuernavaca census? Unlike the Florentine Codex and its account of the conquest of Mexico, the Annals of Tlaclaca remained in indigenous hands, providing authentic insight into the thoughts and outlook of the newly conquered Nahus. The document is the only one that contains the day the Aztecs exited Aztlan. Aztlan. Where have I heard that?
Who got booty? That was us.
That was what's that movie? They did a series, the door, the cabinet, the wardrobe, the
Indian in the cupboard.
No, not the
You talking about Narnia, dog?
Yeah, Narnia. There it is. Aztlan. As well as the day of the founding Mexico, Tenochtitlan. Its authors preferred to remain anonymous, probably to protect them from the Spanish authorities. It is suspected that these authors later became the sources for Bernardino de Sahugin's work. The priest Angel Maria Garibay K. Provided one translation of the manuscript into Spanish in 1956, while James Lockhart published the Nahuatl text and a scholarly translation in English in 1991 in We People Here, Nahuatl Accounts of the Conquest of Mexico. It is also variously known as Unos Anales Históricos de la Nación Mexicano. Which translate into some historical, I'm having a problem. Some historical annals of the Mexican nation. La Relación, I'm gonna mess that up. What is that? TMH.
Yeah, I lost you. I'm trying to figure out where you at.
I'm at home.
And that, boys and girls, is what you get.
Gabby Gibbons.
No.
Where on the paragraph are you? Or where in the page are you?
Second paragraph.
Second paragraph.
From the bottom. No, I'm joking. I don't know where she at.
Second paragraph from the top.
Of what?
From the bottom. The page.
Which page?
The one that we're reading from.
What's the title, please?
Anales de Teclo.
Are you still reading from Bernardino de Sahagún?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what are you reading from?
My computer.
So obviously you haven't gotten to Aztec omens for the conquest, right?
Oh, so it's possible that you didn't follow me to the link, which I thought you did.
Oh, it's possible.
How did I know that you went?
In fact, it's actual. and factual. And I don't.
Did you just mute yourself? No, sell out.
Yes, it happened. Sorry, I copied myself.
So Gabby,
So back.
Where are you? Where were you?
Okay, you see where it says a text from the Nahu point of view, the Anales de Teclo,
Tetrahedron.
There you go.
In Jesus' name.
You see that?
No,
No?
I don't. What paragraph are you on? When is it? How does it start? The paragraph that you're reading from?
A text from Nahu point of view.
Okay. So you clicked on the Annals of Teclaco?
Mm-hmm.
So how am I supposed to know you clicked on that?
TMH, you're supposed to hear the click.
Right, and I told you, I said, let me click on this, and I started reading it.
Okay, let you click.
First of all, that's not a question, Gabby.
You responded.
Peace, Oak Cliff, aka
Okay.
Reed Foreman.
Okay, did you click on the link?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now help me with the word.
You said you're in the second paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You talking about some AZTEC Kaluakan?
No, where it says la relación anónima. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Oh, la relación anónima de Taclaco.
Okay. Manuscript 22 and the Taclaco Codex. Also, true codex called thus exits. I mean, you just said it the way I said it, so I just, okay. I could have kept reading, you wouldn't even known, and then click back, and you'd still, yeah, okay. The manuscript is held at the...
Go ahead.
Come on, help me out. Come on. I see Bible.
It's Bibliothèque.
I see Bible National of France.
Bibliothèque Nationale de France.
Okay. Put it over the cursor. Yeah, the French National Bible in Paris. The most important publication in Spanish. That's why I have a hard time, because even though it's, I don't know.
Go ahead.
It's like my mind starts, or my eyes, whatever, start trying to translate it to, okay. The most important publications in Spanish are the published one by Antigua. What is that? The Antigua Library? Rabrido de Rabrido, Mexico, 1948. Introduction of Robert Barlow. Translation and notes of Henrik Berlin. The most recent by Canacota, Mexico, 2002. Translation of Rafael Tina. Is that Colonel?
Yep.
Cien de Mexico. Background in the text and a popular translation to English for classroom use can be found in the Broken Spears, the Aztec account of the conquest of Mexico by Miguel Leon Portilla and Lysander Kemp.
Cool. Can we go back now?
Sure. With that being said, a popular anthology in English for classroom use is Miguel Leon Portillo's The Broken Spears, the Aztec accounts of the conquest of Mexico from 1992. Not surprisingly, many publications and republications of the 16th century accounts of the conquest of Mexico appeared around 1992. The 500th anniversary of the 500th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's first voyage, when scholarly and popular interest in first encounters surged.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to stop?
Yes.
And expand on that?
Because
I'm just saying they're making it the 500th anniversary of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus discovered the Caribbeans, but supposedly America in 1492. But supposedly they didn't even conquer or supposedly defeat the Aztecs until 1521. So like I'm trying to, you know what? I'm gonna let you do your stuff. I'm going on mute.
I mean, you're right.
I don't want to be right. I'm just reading. Yeah. I don't know law. I'm just reading.
You said you don't know the law. You still
I'm just reading. I'm on mute.
I can't with you right now. So we know that the 500th anniversary of Christopher Columbus could not be true. because in 1492, Christopher Columbus could not have journeyed to the Caribbean under the Italian flag for Spain because Spain didn't exist, nor was Italy up under the control of Spain. Italy was up under the control of France in 1492. Matter of fact, Italy was up under the control of France until 1524. Spain did not become Spain until 1502. 10 years after Christopher Columbus was supposed to have sailed to Caribbean. So we know that's a made-up story. Not only do we know that's a made-up story, but when you look at things from the Iberians' history and their archives, there is no mention of Christopher Columbus sailing to those islands in 1492. So somebody got some explaining to do. But Gabrielle, you were right. And then the Aztec were conquered in a different time period. So the years and the timelines don't match up. That's what no, so I was supposed to come in and say timelines, but anyway. Gabrielle, go ahead and read.
Timelines. What, like that?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, I'm gonna do it next time.
Yeah, appreciate you. Gabrielle.
Yes.
No.
Okay, listen to this, because you know what? I realized it was because I remember being taught in 1492, Christopher Columbus set sail. Christopher Columbus set sail the ocean blue, right? But I couldn't remember it, but I knew it was like some type of nursery rhyme / whatever that we were supposed to memorize, right? So here's the complete 1492 poem. I'm reading it. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had three ships left from Spain. He sailed through sunshine, wind, and rain. He sailed by night, he sailed by day. He used the stars to find his way. A compass always helped him know how to find the way to go. 90 soldiers were on board. Some men worked while others snored. Then the workers went to sleep and others watched the ocean deep. Day after day, they looked for land. They dreamed of trees and rocks and sand. October 12th, their dream came true. You never saw a happier crew. Indians, Indians, Columbus cried. His heart was filled with joyful pride. But India, the land was not. It was the Bahamas, and it was hot. The Arawakawa The Arawakawa natives were very nice. They gave sailors food and spice. Columbus sailed on to find some gold to bring back home. He had been told. He made the trip again and again, trading gold to bring to Spain. The first American, no, not quiet, but Columbus was brave, and he was bright. Columbus Day, okay, and he was bright. And then it's the Columbus Day song, but Columbus Day song. Columbus Day, it's sung to Farmer in the Dell. I don't know why that didn't click with me. Broken programming. In 1492, Columbus sailed across the ocean blue. For 70 days he sailed. Columbus sailed across the sea. For 70 days he sailed. He came to a new land. Columbus sailed across the sea. Exploring he did go. Columbus sailed across the sea. He sailed back home to Spain. Columbus sailed across the sea. Christopher Columbus, in August 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. October 12th, they sighted land and set their feet upon new sand. So, wait, can you hear me? Or did you mute me?
I did not meet you. I muted me, so I wouldn't. So there would be no background noise.
So 1492.
So you clicked on all that to say what?
To say, remember last week when we put in the timeline of 1492, and I told you 1492 was a leap year?
Mm-hmm.
So, historical events for 1492, and okay, that's a little bit much. Okay, I'll put this link in the chat again. Because remember, we also pulled up the libraries, the timelines on the libraries, and when they were burned.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Copy. Oh wait, I gotta put it in both chats, huh?
Well, you can put it in one. I'll put it in both.
I just put it in both.
Go, Gabby Power.
You gotta be quicker than that. Okay. So, what did that say? October? Or no, what were the 2 months that it said in 1492?
It said he sailed for 70 days and he got there in October 24th or something like that. Well, October 28th. It says he lands in Cuba.
Okay, so timelines.
So he set sail in August.
Well, August 12th is the month. Let's see, 1492, August 12th.
It says August 3rd.
October 12th, and August.
Hold on, what are you seeing?
My computer?
Because I'm seeing October, I'm seeing August the 3rd.
Okay, so, okay. Hold on.
And
No, hold on. It's my fault. Hold on.
in October.
Okay. Based off of that little poem, that's supposed to be for teaching. You see it? August 1492 and October 12th of 1492.
The world.
You see it?
There's some type of risks coming up.
Huh? You said what's coming up?
When I try to pull it up, it gives me a risk alert, like potential security risk. And
Wait, the teacherheart.net?
yep.
Really? Okay, let me see if I could do another. Okay, the website is www.teachingheart.net, and then like that arrow thing, and then Columbus. But basically, the two dates that it gives in this poem is October 12th of 1492 and August, doesn't give a date, but August of 1492. Now, if I go on the timelines, for August of 1492, the only two timelines that's significant, or only timeline that they make significant in connection with Christopher Columbus, is October 3rd. Genoese, the Genoese navigator Christopher Columbus sails with 3 ships from Palos de la Frontera in service of Crown of Castle on his first voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, intending to reach Asia, not India. And then October 12th on this timeline, Christopher Columbus expedition makes landfall in the Caribbean and lands on Guanahana, but he believes he has reached the East Indies. And I remember being told he was looking for the West Indies.
Sounds like some things not lining up, huh?
Some things not. Where he landed, let's see, Christopher Columbus renamed San Salvador, which is its current name. Guanahani is the native Taino name. Interesting.
Now, this is what history tells us, and this is what the Iberian Archives, aka Spanish Archives, and his journal says. He already knew where he was, and he knew where he was going. Mm-hmm. So the Americas again are lying. He knew he was coming. He knew he was coming to the land of the children of God. We need to pull that up. From the archives. I know Bones had it pulled up one time before, but we need to find it and pull it up again. Have it on speed dial like we got the rant from Benjamin Franklin, because that just shuts all that stuff down.
I'm looking at 1492, right? Mm-hmm. So January 15th. You got the timeline. I put the link in there, right?
The timeline, let me pull it back up.
For 1492? It's got January 2nd to December 31st.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. So the first mention in this timeline, and I'm not saying this, I'm just going off of just this, okay? First mention of Christopher Columbus is supposedly January 15th. Mm-hmm. Meets Ferdinand and Isabella at the Alcázar de los Reyes,
Cordoba, Andalusia. Cordoba, Andalusia.
Oh, so you just skipped the other word, and okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, you're fine. And persuade them.
Alcázar de los Reyes Cristianos. Alcázar de los Reyes Cristianos.
Okay. And persuade them to support.
Go ahead.
So, and it says, and persuades them to support his Atlantic voyage intended to find a new route to the East Indies.
Right.
Now, this means that he petitioned to them for them to fund his voyage, right?
Right.
Come along and ride on the Atlantic voyage.
Slide, slide, sippity slide.
Laying ankle. No.
Okay, so let's look at where Cordoba, Spain is. It says also spelled Cordova in English. It's the city of Andalusia, southern Spain, and the capital of the province of Cordoba. It was a Roman settlement taken over by the Visigoths, allowed by the Muslim conquest in the 8th century, later becoming the imperial city of the Caliphate of Cordoba. The city served as a capital in exile of Umayyad Caliphate and the capital of Islamic Spain. The Almohad and various other emirates. During the Muslim periods, Cordoba was transformed into world-leading center of education and learning, providing notable figures such as Averroes, Ibn Hamza, and Al-Zawahiri. And by the 10th century, it had grown into the second largest city in Europe. It was conquered by the Kingdom of Castile through the Christian Reconquista in 1236. Now here's the funny part.
What's the funny part, TMH?
I'm glad you asked. Queen Isabella and Ferdinand were not in Cordoba, Andalusia in January 15, 1492. They didn't get there until 1500.
So what possibly does that mean, TMH?
Somebody lying.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's not true.
And it wouldn't. And they would have got away with it too, if it wasn't for those meddling A2 members.
Because they were allowed to come to Andalusia under the Ottoman Empire rule. They were giving rule of Andalusia.
Now, when you speak of the Ottoman Empire, what is that reference to?
The Romans, or the Rome, or the seat, or the House of Rome, which now sits in Germany.
Is that why it says that it was a Roman settlement taken over by the Visigoths, followed by the Muslim? Is that a telling of, in that area, who possibly ruled or controlled at the time? Interesting. Jinkies.
Now let's see who the culprit is. McGraw Hill Publication Company.
I can't with y'all.
Oh, we not doing the scoops.
No.
Do. Oh, yeah?
They had to be ashamed of themselves lying like this. Repeatedly. Repitan. No bueno. No bueno.
No más pantalones.
Little Vision says, quick draw McGraw.
Oh, me gusta.
Rabbit. I don't know, man. This is crazy.
Well,
lies, more
since
lies.
you were reading about Cordoba, Andalusia, can you go back and click on the link to Alcázar de las Reyes Christian?
Gesundheit.
Dank.
Dank what?
Danka.
Danka what? Danka donut? Danka basketball? Danka donkey?
Come over to the dark side.
No.
You're almost there.
No.
The influence is great.
I can't do it.
The force is right with you.
No.
Now, when something refers to something being medieval, what does that mean?
It's halfway between evil and good. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. I forgot where I was looking at.
Okay, so the link that was next to Cordoba, Andalusia.
Yeah, but what were you looking under to get that?
Alcazar.
You had clicked on the original link that you had clicked on was the Annals of the
1492. The timeline link. January 15th, when they first start talking about Christopher Columbus.
Oh yeah. The Alcazar de los Reyes Cristianos, also known as the Alcazar of Cordoba, is a medieval Alcazar Arabic romanticized Alcazar palace located in the
historic center of Cordoba.
Excuse you?
A historic center of Cordoba.
The fortress served as one of the primary residences of Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon. That's where they were at in 1492. They weren't even in those places. But anyway, it says, it is a building of military character whose construction was ordered by the King of Alfonso the 11th of Castile in the year 1328. On previous construction, the Al-Andalusian Alcazar, also previous resident of the Roman governor and customs. The architectural resemblance has a sober character in its exterior and splendid in its interior, with the magnificent gardens and courtyards that maintain the Mudéjar inspiration. The Alcazar has been declared a cultural interest heritage since 1931. It forms part of the historic center of Cordoba that has declared World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1994. Okay, I read it. Now what?
Now, would I be correct? And if I'm wrong, please catch me, because I don't want to understand anything wrong. That Christopher Columbus meets Ferdinand and Isabella at their place, their property, their land in Cordoba and Alicia.
Yeah.
And that this is their property, that they're somewhat, not even somewhat, but they're significant enough to have some type of military force behind them, like ruling an area or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Christopher Columbus petitioned a type of government to fund his voyage.
What do you mean?
On the link, it says Christopher Columbus meets Ferdinand and Isabella at the Alcazar de los Reyes Cristianos in Cordoba, Andalusia, and persuades them to support his Atlantic voyage intended to find a new route to the East Indies. So he went to a government to have a government fund him, right?
Yeah, but this was in Andalusia. This was in Spain. This was not in their homeland of Castile or Aragon. Castile and Aragon are two different places.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah. That was built for them. That was built for them after the fact. So that's was built for them after 1492. So how can he go visit some place that wasn't built until?
I don't understand. Look, it says Christopher Columbus meets Ferdinand and Isabella at the Alcazar de los Reyes Christian of Cordoba, Andalusia.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that area, that property, that they had something there. It may not have been built up then as it is now, but there was something there. You get what I'm saying?
Andalus is Spain.
Right. Andalusia is Spain.
But it's another part, right?
No.
No, it's Spain. It's the original name of Spain.
Whoa. And there it is.
Yeah, Spain is just a name that they came up with later on.
Like Africa.
Right, because Spain comes from the Latin word given by the Romans, Hispaniola.
Oh wait.
Hispaniola means Iberian Peninsula.
Yeah, but it also said it was a Roman settlement. So being that Andalusia was
it's part of the Roman Empire.
Oh yes.
At this time, in 1492, Queen Isabella was in Castile. King Ferdinand was somewhere else. They couldn't have been in the same place. They couldn't have been in Andalusia because they were in two separate areas at that time. That's a lie. The Spanish records indicate where they were. It's only the American records that say they're someplace different. So either Spain is lying, the Ottoman Empire is lying, Europe is lying, or America's lying. Oh, also, Christopher Columbus records is in Spanish, and they come from Spain, so he must be lying too. So only people that's right is Americans. That's not happening, partner.
Shout out to McGraw Hill.
Okay, what can we go to April 17th? The second time they speak about Christopher Columbus? In 1492?
April 17th, capitulations of Santa Fe are signed between Christopher Columbus and the Crown of Castile, agreeing on arrangements for his forthcoming voyage. The Crown of Castile would be where Queen Isabella was.
It says the Crown of Castile was a medieval state in the Iberian Peninsula that formed in 1230 as a result of the third and definitive union of the crowns, and some decades later, the parliaments of the kingdoms of Castilla and Leon upon the accession of the then Castilian king Fernando III to the vacant.
Yeah, the kingdom of Castile and the kingdom of Aragon. That's what eventually makes Spain, but it's all on the landmass that's called Andalus.
Right.
They just called it, and they just renamed it.
So, is this where I could say what Do Division usually says, where the rubber meets the road?
Yeah, you could.
Okay. Once you start reading them, Do Division. Once you start reading, you'll start to see this is where the rubber meets the road.
Dun, dun, dun.
I yield the mic.
And with that, you can go ahead and start your salutation because it's 11:06.
What is that? Really? We're not reading?
No.
She think that when we miss reading, that means we got to fill in the show with more reading. We got about 3 more hours left then, Gabby, if that's the case.
We didn't even get to December 31st.
I wonder why.
That's not my problem, no my concern.
Really? You said I ain't got to go home, but I do got to get up off here.
I mean, I tell you what, after the show is over, I can give you the OBS, and I can show you how to run stuff.
You got it. You run it. You run it.
I'm just saying, I mean,
You run it.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, Gabrielle.
Okay, hold on. I got something got in my eye. I think it was an eyelash. I can't see. I can have some.
You about to get the
You just said, what? The broke Decepticon. Out here. You need your eyes to say goodbye. Your mouth still working on it.
More than meets the eye.
She got an eyelash in her mouth.
What?
It's causing you to not be able to salutate.
All she gotta do is say peace out.
But that's what I'm gonna do. It's Friday, Gabby. We gotta get out of here now.
Oh, it's not. Wait, it's Monday. Stop.
Call it what you will.
Okay. All right. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat.
She said, "La chat." Who you doing? No limits up. What? Or was that 3 to 6? I don't even know.
Hold on. I really think I got something in my eye. Okay. All right. I'm good now. All right. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. Peace to the silent majority. Do your genealogy. So no matter what somebody talking, they could be talking about a whole of a population, a whole of a state. They won't be talking to you because you won't know who and where you come from, regardless of what they say. Talking at the side of their neck. But yeah. Focus on your genealogy. Focus on each other because we need each other. We gotta help each other. So, what I will read is this. And thank you, Double Cousin. No sellout.
Oh yeah, shout out to me.
Shout out to Double Cousin. No
Ain't nobody doing nothing. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't hear. Nor do I know exactly.
So,
I'm sorry, Gabby. You were reading what I was saying?
Yes. I have seen that in any great undertaking, it is not enough for a man to depend simply upon himself. That is from Shooter Titan Su. Everything on the earth has a purpose, every disease an herb to cure it, and every person a mission. This is the Indian theory of existence. Morning.
Ooh, I like that.
Talish. Mm-hmm. The ground on which we stand is sacred ground. It is the blood of our ancestors. Chief Plenty Coops Crow. So, yeah, we need each other. Gotta read, we gotta know, gotta stop playing around. And help those who are lost. Because we're all lost in a way together. Trying to put the pieces back together. I love you guys. Peace, blessings, and prosperity.
Awesome.
So you saying you were born that way?
No, so what you got?
Oh, I ain't got nothing.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, you already know how it is. Gabby just said what I was gonna say. You know, she go first, ladies first, and then you gonna come up after me. I might as well not even say nothing. I mean, y'all gonna say everything I was gonna say. Peace, y'all.
All right.
Oh, actually, I do got something to say. I propose a challenge. Shout out to the email address. And make sure your peoples is there. Because you might get embarrassed. I propose a challenge. Alright? Let's be Charlie Murray. My challenge is for anybody to call that number or type in that email address and prove to me and us or anybody who reads that email or listens on the other end of that phone call, the Indians are not to be enumerated, man. We can't be counted. They said we ain't supposed to be counted, Bones. I'm not convinced. I think we ain't supposed to be counted. We supposed to be in the middle of the woods, untaxed, uncounted, unaccounted for, No, nope, you don't know about me. I'm a homesteader. I'm a frontiersman. Don't touch me. Don't come on my property. Anti-governmental. I thought we supposed to be doing that as Indians, Bones. Anyway, I propose a challenge. Go ahead.
If you're not going to do the census, why argue about representation?
Well, you can't even argue about your relatives. Relativation. Because they own the census. If they ain't on the census, how you know who they is? Is there an Indian record of Indians not taxed Indians not counted that they actually counted anyway? Is that what it is? The Indians that weren't counted themselves? I mean, ain't that still counted? Because somehow, some way you existed on Earth. Your relatives did. So how are we supposed to be accounted for? How are we supposed to know who?
They came from miraculous conception.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. I forgot. They mixing. Okay.
Poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need?
I'm going to hit you with that. I don't believe you can do it. Make me get a free wish up at it. But no, for real, I propose a challenge. Attentionassembly@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns, and or especially corrections. We have been waiting. I have not heard anything. I see a lot of videos about and Bones, you were correct. People be spot reading, man. I mean, if you spot read live on the air, then I know you spot reading when you and your on the toilet or somewhere. Come on now. Ain't no way you not spot reading. Just you spot reading live on the air, but you ain't spot reading nowhere else in the privacy of your own domicile. So challenge them, like she said. I want to know.
Challenge him. I dare you to. Challenge him.
You sound like an anti-genealogiker. If you ain't counting and looking up and searching for your relatives on where they counted them at. So anyway, Bone said after 1924, you wrong. So I don't think you're going to email me. Peace, y'all.
Well, it's kind of curious because Bone said something and it does make sense. I mean, most times, the simplest question and the simplest way of thinking is obviously the obvious. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious. So with me doing my genealogy and me going back, that only applies to me. That doesn't apply to my brothers and sisters, right?
Well, I wouldn't apply to your brothers and sisters. Your brothers and sisters got the same mom and daddy, don't you? Y'all got a mom and daddy in common, don't you?
Me personally, in my personal
it's different in 2019.
We got the same mama, but not all of us got the same dad.
But y'all got the same mama, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that mama's line would pertain to them. If nothing else, y'all got the same mama, so that's where you start.
That don't apply to my sisters and brothers, right? So I mean, that only applies to me because they different.
How they different?
They different. They're different humans too, right? They ain't even got the same blood, same organs.
So your mama's brothers and sisters wouldn't be their aunts and uncles, just like they're your aunts and uncles.
Yeah, but it's different.
But why is that different?
Oh, that was different.
Because it's just different. It just makes sense to say it's different, right?
Oh, it makes sense to say it's different. Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I heard.
If it makes sense to you, it makes sense.
So you're telling me if it makes sense, that means it made dollars, right? Because cents don't come from nothing.
Does it?
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
And
you can't trust us. Trust us, Jones.
It's subjective. But I'll let y'all have that.
What's subjective?
Oh no, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Oh, TMA, time. It's your turn to salutate.
Oh, my bad. It's your turn to salivate. Go ahead.
Now I'm sitting here at a wet desk.
Thomas, Thomas gonna start mute hating.
It's a mutiny.
It's a mutiny, not a mutiny. It's a mute, y'all.
Oh, it's Merlin Murdollars.
The what?
Michael Harris Brown Cheek. He said it's Merlin Murdollars.
It's Merlin Moodollars.
Oh, Moodollars. Moodollars.
Oh, you're saying Merlin like the wizard or Maryland?
This is like
Maryland terms.
More.
Okay, more.
More.
No, this is Nathan.
Is it more?
The horror on it.
More. Stop playing.
Moreland.
Like Morton Salt.
Moreland.
Morton.
So there you go.
Anyway, shout out to everybody. New subscribers, new registrants.
Oak Cliff says, see y'all tomorrow.
Tomorrow. See, she knows what you're talking about.
Oh, wait.
The silent majority.
No. That was because I think this is all for you. I'm being quiet.
Talking all over the track.
I know, just all, I know, dancing all across the stage.
In the interview.
All in the video.
How you gonna be the solo artist in the group? How that work?
Shout out to Bobby Brown.
Ain't nobody. Get up off my back.
Oh, y'all, yep.
See, Bones know what he doing. He go last, so he knows how not to act. That's why he go last.
Nah, him and Brittany. Look, him and Brittany be telling LJ, see right there, you hear that right there? This is what you not gonna do. This is what you don't do. That's what you don't say, and that's how you don't act. Because if I ever hear about you act like this by your teachers, man, listen. Okay, I'm done.
I learned it by watching you.
Peace to the panel, peace to the chat. Just because you and TMH the same height don't mean y'all need to act the same way. I'm just saying.
I know it's confusing, so you're gonna learn one day.
I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, like I was saying, peace to the panel, peace to the chat. Best chat on earth is. Let's put an S on it. Earth is. I love what I do. Texas Assembly, y'all make my job easy. The panel make my job easy. I just, I enjoy it. I love muting y'all. Since y'all took away my only other rite of passage was not to being related to any of y'all, now I'm related to all y'all, and that's Gabrielle's fault. But for the record, Gabrielle, whole name need to be said. Gabrielle, not no Gabby, not no Gabs. Gabrielle. Let's say her whole name.
Say my name.
Her name is Gabrielle, not Gabby's. Gabrielle, because she will stab you. They complain.
Oh, yo, what in the world just happened?
Don't play. Don't call my whole name. Mess around. Call my whole name.
Yeah, you right. David Corey right. You dirty, TMA.
Why am I dirty? What I do?
He
What
said,
happened?
y'all tore my shirt pulling off. Oh, wait. What
How we pull off on him?
He said
How he get out?
we tore his shirt pulling off. What the world?
Talking about the cab. Well, how he get out the cab first of all? Because we can say we was done. Like we had not arrived at the destination whatsoever.
Okay,
Is he saying it for
We gotta
real?
go to our trail now.
Okay, first of all,
What's that one with that movie with Will Smith? What's her name?
Hitch.
Yeah, Hitch. Where his shirt gets. Is that what he's saying?
y'all be falling for it every time. See, David Corey say something, and y'all just go out on tangents. See, he know what he doing.
I'm partially visual, so when people talk, I visualize.
You partially visual. You so is that like so you partially visual, partially blind? Is that?
That's what I heard.
She's a part-time seer.
Part seer.
She's a part-time seer. I feel you. Anyway.
Oak Cliff says, first off, where's your vest, David?
Forget the vest. Wear your helmet.
Hold on, how you supposed to be working at the cafeteria wearing all this stuff? That's what I want to know.
Hey man.
He's supposed to be over here.
David Corey, you tripping.
He mad because a lot of people ain't showing up to the cafeteria like they used to.
Look, man, you can't be coming to the cafeteria with a helmet, half a shirt on, and one shoe. You just a second.
That is not proper work attire. I know we get rough in there, but great.
This is no shirt, no shoe, no service. He's like, you want to bet?
Hey, I work here. You can't tell me that. Jamarcus Russell.
Nothing.
I'm saying, look, David Corey, you cannot be spending a whole night in the cab. You will get thrown out. I'm just saying. You gotta go home sometime. That's why you should.
You think we one of the bus drivers that don't do the sweep at the end of the day?
You said right now, so
Leaving children on the bus. No, we don't do that. All right, we sweep the bus. We sweep the cab. We make sure. No student left behind.
He said we need a new driver. What's wrong with the old driver? Okay. Hey, any day, OBS lessons, I'm giving them out for free. Anybody that want to drive, come on. Stop playing.
On that OBS, okay.
Not old BS, OBS.
Oh, my bad.
You said old BS. Wasn't sure if you were talking about.
No, that's the people out there pushing.
They push the OBS. Yeah.
What system you using that OBS? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go this way.
That old bull sovereign. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I realize that be the problem. See, they hear that we using OBS, and they get it confused with that old BS that they pushing. That's
So
why
they run with it.
I got it now.
Okay.
We are the same. They are not Martians.
La cafeteria. Anyway, why y'all keep interrupting my salivations?
Because you salivate. We trying to help you, get some tissue.
What was that you said? You reached.
Get you with the task. I'm trying to. Good gracious. Don't it me.
Who picked up the petty flag?
The petty flag been laying there collecting dust.
Real quick.
Look, the petty flag was collecting dust for the last few weeks. But man, if TMH ain't
Hey, what's going on here?
Grand Rising. Who we got here?
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
What's going on, Brittany?
What happened? What we been
Grand Rising, Brittany.
Brett, how you doing?
It's TMH fault.
Huh?
It's TMH.
Huh?
TMH fault.
Now you know you heard him say it like that. That sounds like I'm in trouble, huh? I'm in trouble, huh?
I'm going on mute.
I'm not doing nothing.
I'm going on
You're
mute.
supposed to be finishing your salutations and you going on mute. That's how you know you're wrong. You know what was wrong.
That's how you know.
Put your ass for it, baby.
Ooh, you in trouble.
Huh?
Oh, y'all crazy. Yep.
So with that, I'm gonna give it over to Bones H. McCoy, oh boy. You do what you do, partner, and I'm going on murder.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody on the panel for the work they do again to make the show what it is. Also, thanks to the active chat, every rising, and the ones that just listening. And as well, moving forward, again, it's not about being right. It's about getting it right. So when we reach that point to where right is facing us dead in the eye and there's a choice to make, let's make sure that we choose right. And if not, the conditions that we grew up with, that we see that plagues our communities, it will continue. Because again, it isn't the people that don't look like us that are the most dangerous to us, relatives. It's the ones that look just like us, walk around us, eat with us, work with us, but the whole time have an ulterior motive. So let's be careful. On that note, everyone continue to do your genealogy. Don't let no one tell you who you are. Continue to reach out and find like-minded individuals in your communities. Learn how your local politics work. Find out what you can do today to improve your community and to keep building this for the 7 generations moving forward. And on that note, remember we love you and peace.
Peace, y'all.
Yes, we addressed all the haters out there today, okay? You're going to recognize I'm the original Don Dada, okay?
All of you.
Okay? You're going to recognize. Original Don Dada from Dominicana.
Oh, no.
Dominica.
Why you always lying?
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.